that says that an old man is a hindrance in the house, where an older woman is pleasant for the house. So when I was learning it, I turned to my wife, whose birthday is today, and I mentioned it to her. So it went over. She didn't see it, but in any case. Maybe because she thought I was a hindrance all the time, so it wasn't just when I aged. But in any case, the Gemara ends, there's two different kinds of fields. There's something which is called a stei achuzah, which means something that you inherited from the time of Yehoshua, and then there's called a stei mikna, a field that you acquired. What's the difference between the two? So you know that there is something which is called the Jubilee year. And during the Jubilee year, all of the properties had to go back to their original owners. This is how the Torah ensured that the properties, the way the land, the way it was divided amongst the tribes, remained within the tribes. What happens if somebody donates his field to tzedakah? So there's a difference if it is a field that he inherited or a field that he bought. Because a field that he inherited, it's totally his. He can do whatever he wants with it. But if it's a field that he bought, he has to wait until after the Jubilee year, because during the Jubilee year, they can actually redeem it. So there's a difference between a Jubilee year. There's a difference between an acquired property and a property that you inherited. A property that you inherited is totally yours, so you have the right to do whatever you want with it. So let's say if someone gave it to Hekdish, if someone says it is holy, and it's in the hands of the Beit HaMikdash, so during the Jubilee year he can redeem it. If he doesn't redeem it, what happens? He doesn't get it back. Where does it go? It goes to the Kohanim. Now, with that introduction, the Gemara talks about what happens if a Kohen owned property, and he decided that he's going to give it to Hekdish. He's going to give it to holiness. And then he doesn't redeem it. So automatically, it goes out of the right of his property and it goes to the Kohanim. And the Kohanim can claim it for themselves. So he can say, since I'm a Kohen, why do I have to redeem it? It goes back to the Kohanim anyways. Let it just expire, and then I take it for myself. That's the discussion that the Gemara ends. Does he have a right to take it to himself, or does it have to go to his fellow Kohanim? Okay? So I'll do it quickly because it's late. In chapter 27, verse 21, the Pasuk says a very strange expression. Like a field of cherem, like a field that was made hektish, l'kohen, for the kohen, tiach hazaseh should be his lot that he possesses. Very cryptic. Ma Talmud loyma. So what is it teaching us? Menayim, l'kohen shehikdish cherem. How do we know that a kohen that actually sanctified his particular field, shelo yomer hoyel v'yetzel l'kohenim haritachas yodei teishali. He shouldn't say, since it has to go out anyways to the kohenim, and I am living in it, and it's mine, so it automatically goes to me. V'dinhu, and he will say that actually it's a kal v'chayim. B'shava chedim ani zeicha, when it's a non-kohen, that it expires and it goes into it goes into the hands of the kohenim. I can merit it. I can actually take it for myself. B'shalasmik le'kol shekain. So if it's already in my hands, certainly I should get it. Talmud leimar. So the pasuk says, "V'haya hasada v'tseisa b'yovel." That it should be like a stei achedem. What do we learn from a field that was hektish with a field of achuzah? It comes to teach, and we learn from it. His own field that he has decided to give to hektish, that is now expiring, is like a field that is owned by another Jew that was inherited. Just like a field that you own from going time from Joshua, that if it expires, it goes to all the kohenim, not to one kohenim. Which kohenim? The kohenim that are in that mishmar, which means in that cycle, and they each get an equal part. The same thing is true with an individual kohen. It has to go out of his hand. He cannot keep it for himself. He has to share it with the other Kohanim. That is the halakha. Okay, you think you finished? Just few more lines, very quick. Over there, it's different because when somebody brings it to the temple, they bring it to the temple. Over here, it's already in his hand. It says in another place that when it comes to the holy korbanos that somebody brings, so he can keep a lot of the part of the korban for himself, because he's the owner of the korban. So he would say the same thing over here, since it's my field, I can keep it. So therefore the pasuk has to say specifically that it's not so. So the Gemara asks, Kachov lav b'rshusei, hacha b'rshusei. The kachim is not in his possession, it's in the possession of Beis Hamikdash. This is in the possession, in his own possession. We need this pasuk to teach us. And this goes to the Levim. The Levim, as you know, were given 48 cities, and they actually owned the cities. It was theirs to do whatever they want with it. It also served as a city of refuge. You hear that, Levi? So then you have all those fields, and it becomes yours. So since it becomes yours, the Kohen will say, the Levim that are a notch lower than me, their property becomes theirs forever. So the same thing as this, that this field, after it's redeemed, it's mine. So therefore the pasuk has to come along and say, even though by the Levim it does become theirs, but over here we treat it as if it's any other Jew that gave it to Hektish. That when it comes to Hektish, he has to actually give it away to all the Kohanim. So what's the bottom line? If a Kohen has his own field and he decides to give it to Hektish and he does not redeem it, and then it says it falls to the Kohanim, he does not get first rights. It has to be shared equally with all the Kohanim. That's the halacha. I just want to learn the Rashi. The Imdisha v'leigola le'seitzel ha'koinim b'yevel le'eler shus l'gola le'elam kamashmona hekesh the iskus stei ha'chenom stei ha'chuzasi shel Yisrael the teitzim mitachas yodei v'tizchalek v'ha'koinim da'chuzasi the yesh l'gula se'elam avol chermi l'havek ha'chuzah l'goya le'elam hadanen u'la'chamecha sadeus likro l'sechta Erchin. I just have to recite a few things before you can break the fast, and there is also a Kaddish to be recited. So this will take just a minute. Hadon alach mesach ha'arachim, hadon alach daiton alach mesach ha'arachim. V'daiton alach leilus nishim minei mesach ha'arachim, leisish minei leiba alma adein v'leiba alma da'aseh. Hadon alach mesach ha'arachim, hadon alach daiton alach mesach ha'arachim, v'daiton alach leilus minei mesach ha'arachim, leisish minei leiba alma adein v'leiba alma da'aseh. Hadon alach mesach ha'arachim, hadon alach daiton alach mesach ha'arachim, v'daiton alach leisish minei mesach ha'arachim, leisish minei leiba alma adein v'leiba alma da'aseh. Yiras mifnach adonai leinu v'mesenu shrei teraskim v'mesenu ben amazeh v'seiman leinu mabah chaninu b'papa rabba b'papa nachma b'papa achai b'papa b'mari b'papa nachma b'papa rafish b'papa sucha b'papa ada b'papa dora b'papa harba d'noah adonai leinu zivin v'sas v'lfinu v'fiam chabis Yisrael v'nya anachnu tzatzeinu v'tzatzei tzatzeinu v'tzatzei am chabis Yisrael kulanu yedu shmecha v'leinu v'saras v'lishma me'evit v'chakmeni v'sasar kanei l'mini yili b'som v'chukecha l'man le'evesh La'elam le'eshba b'chodech l'kibam k'yisoni baruch atah adonai lamdeini chukecha. Amen, 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 salavod. Meidim anachnu l'vnach adonai l'v'senu sh'samtu chalkeinu b'yesha beis hamidrash v'lei samtu chalkeinu b'yesha v'kron. Shana mashkim v'hem mashkim. Anu mashkim l'ziv v'neseira v'hem mashkim l'dvarim b'telim. Anu amenim v'hem amenim. Anu amenim m'kalvin sochar v'hem amenim m'kalvin sochar. Anu ratsa v'hem ratsa anu ratsa l'chayna b'aba v'hem ratsa l'vei shachar shenem v'atam v'hem teridem l'vei shachas an she'gam mimir b'leyachs yimem v'ani eftach b'ach. Yiras mifnach adonai shekshem she'azayta the same mesech torchim keita zayin the same mesech torchim chachedim or the same lilmid or the lamed lishma lasis v'kam skudim v'sam tzivsach b'yaba v'schus al kol atonai v'meroim v'slamidei chacham yamad li l'zari shodei shomesh v'tere b'zari v'zera zari adel ha'miskayim pi b'yisalachta tam cha'esach v'shach mocha tishmir olecha v'akitzei sehi sichechecha ki v'yor b'yomecha v'yisibach l'shnei zchayim erech yom minus melesh v'chaved adonai eslami yitan adonai v'arech v'zam b'vasholim. There's a special Kaddish. You want to say it? Come up here. It's like the Kaddish that Rabbanan, but since you're Chayiv, you can say it.